Welcome back to Success Loops and the next episode of Instrumental Inspiration. This is where we take the wisdom of mentors and we amplify it and make it accessible through the magical medium of music, particularly with live looping, because everything in the nature of life is always cyclical. Let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at John Assaraf, and we're going to be looking at procrastination, how to remedy procrastination. Roll the reel.
The Big Cigar.
Right, we're back. Okay, John Assaraf. Okay, and he is author, businessman, philanthropist, mentor, coach. I think I've even posted quotes on my pages before. The guy's the real deal. So he's basically looking at procrastination, and he basically sees procrastination as basically triggers and responses, and there's 3 stages. So we're going to be looking at those 3 stages with the live looping. Great stuff. So let's go for it. Let's do it. So the first stage in the procrastination loop is basically the inspired stage. We get inspired thought. Inspiration comes to us, and that's a really good feel-good moment. We actually we raise our vibrations. Our body releases serotonin and oxytocin, and it's a really good feeling. We get quite amped and we get quite excited, which is a very, very good stage. So let's put down the good stage. Today we're going to be using reggae loops. Why? Because I think the mentor that we're looking at today would fit in very nicely. You could have Bob Marley, man, Peter Tosh, John Assaraf, the big rugby dub styler, reggae pop star man. Sorry, John, your name just really appeals to that. So, first stage, inspired thought, and the happy hormones that get released. Let's do it. There it is, stage 1 down. Inspired thought, man. According to John Assaraf. Okay, guys. Here comes the doom and gloom. The second stage that gets triggered after that is basically fears. And what happens typically when we have inspired thought, we immediately then dive straight into the amygdala part of our brain, which is the more of the survival part, the oldest part of our brain, survival and self-preservation. So immediately when they start seeking threats, so it's like, now this, we could get rejected now, we could get judgment now, we could get laughed at, we could get, and suddenly, we suddenly get this. The cortisol gets released into our body, and it just cheers to all the happy hormones. Off they go. Bye bye, man. Bye bye. Nice knowing you. And off they go. So let's look at the second loop now. Let's put down the second loop, which is where we flush out cortisol, flushes out all of our happy hormones. Bye bye, serotonin and oxytocin. All right. So let's start the first one. That's inspired thought. Stage 2, we have it down. There it is. So we've had the inspired thought, we've had the fears, okay, and those triggers then lead to stage 3, which is the response. And our normal response to stress or cortisol, normally if there's a life-threatening situation, it's fight or flight. However, if it's not life-threatening, our most typical response is we freeze. We do nothing at all. And that's basically the procrastination right there. So we're not going to record a loop for that stage. We're actually going to move past it, and we're going to see how we can remedy this, and we'll be looking at getting past it. So the way to get past this, according to John Assaraf, is we need to basically we have to change obviously the triggers and our responses. So it's basically then is when those fears come along and we experience that stress, is then to identify that itself is the stress. We are now identifying the fear itself and isolating it. Too many times we identify with the fear, we make it part of us and part and parcel of us. We are it is us. Whereas no, identify the fear, separate it. Okay, so you basically then your new trigger would be take action, do something. So you're now basically forgetting fear and becoming focus. And that basically then immediately when you do that, you're getting out of the amygdala, which is the as we said earlier, which is the preservation brain, and getting into the later brain, which is the neocortex, which is the managerial brain. It's the more logical side of the brain. And in that case, that part of the brain doesn't release as much cortisol. You then are logical. You then are figuring things out. You're in a much healthier, much safer place. Because I mean, we can even basically reframe the word procrastination. It's not anti-crastination. It's procrastination. It doesn't have to be seen as something that is really bad, evil, and have such a shocking connotation to it, because it can be put in a light of certain things need to be done. There's certain chores we have in the day, but we can maybe sometimes there's a certain urgency. So put off those that aren't urgent. So procrastinate those ones, but do the ones that are urgent. Don't procrastinate those. And that is that's kind of a secret, and there's the remedy. So let's get to recording the last loop. We're now taking action. Right there. So we have now seen how we can exactly see the stages. So we get in the inspired, let's sum up the inspired thought. We then move across to observing those fears that would normally freeze us, and moving past them and creating that just to becoming now a new response, which is now forgetting those fears and becoming focused and seeking out the optimum action and following through that action. All right. If you did enjoy this video, then please hit the thumbs up and give us a like. If you would like to see more videos like this, then please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you'll be alerted to when I post the next ones. And if there's anything you want to suggest, please leave a comment. Talk to me. I will respond. Test me. Leave me a comment. And we had our say. Now it's time for me to have my say. Otherwise, whatever. Anyway, do what you love and don't hesitate.
rest can wait until tomorrow. Until tomorrow, gonna chase it away. I ain't got time for that today. Why do it now? Just procrastinate. I think it's hit to be fashionably late. Get off my case, for goodness sake. It's my damn slice of chocolate cake. Allow me time to deliberate. Nothing at all, because we know it's fake. Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Take it away.
The Big Cigar.